Now I want to do this quick educational video on algae. So this tank doesn't have much algae right now, but it did before because I turned the light on for longer and up brighter, so got a lot of algae on these leaves. There's a bit of residue there, but I cleaned most of it off. Anyways, now this tank has some algae also because I kept putting that light on underneath. So there's two lights here. That fluval one was on brighter, so obviously it doesn't need that. And I need an algae scraper actually. But the magic Aqua One magic sponges are really good to get rid of that. I think they're Aqua One or they Seachem, I don't know. But they do have magic sponges, which are really good to clean that off. I just haven't got in there yet. And now this one in here, I don't think this has any algae because it's usually, the light in here is usually down really low. It's my fry tank. I think I've got 5 fry in there. Anyway, so now that we've shown the tanks, we can explain a bit. So, the algae level is equal to the total nitrate and phosphate, so nutrient levels times light. Like this is the kind of like the whole concept of what causes algae. So it's the nutrients times light level. So as you can see, the higher light you have, the more, when added with nutrient levels, the higher that's the algae level, the higher the algae level will be. So say I have really high light, but I have very low nutrients, so nitrate and phosphate. So let's say I've got really high light, 5, and I've got 0.5 of those other levels. So the total algae level is going to be really low. It's going to be like here. So that's low. But if I have really high nutrient levels, so 5 high light, high nutrient levels, the algae is going to be up here. So if we've got medium of each, so 3, 3, 3, 3. It's going to be around here. So there's a strong positive correlation between the nutrient levels and the light levels in algae. So what is a total nutrient level? So nitrate and phosphate. That's pretty much just nitrate and phosphate. Where that comes from, fish stocking. So if you've got a lot of fish in a small aquarium or just a lot of fish in general, that's going to bring up nitrate and phosphate. Feeding, overfeeding, that also turns into nitrate and phosphate. So nitrate and phosphate are just decomposing food and fish waste. So that's what that is. It's just fish waste. And it can also come from fertilizer, because some fertilizers have nitrate and phosphate, like the one I have has nitrate and phosphate. And then plant usage is also going to lower the nitrate and phosphate levels. So all these things here, these increase the levels, and plant usage decreases it. And another one which I didn't write on here, which I probably should have, is, hopefully this is the right marker. Now another one here, which I didn't write, that lowers the water changes. So water changes also lowers it, but you don't really want to be doing like 100 water changes. So those increased levels and those two decreased levels. Now what is light? Now it's wattage of light. So if you've got a stronger light equals higher wattage, weaker light, lower wattage. So that one in my room there is actually pretty low wattage, but the little additional lights I added in, those can be turned up really high. So that little one underneath, that can go really high. But these stock ones are low. And same with that tank. The one that comes with is low, but this one I added, here can go up pretty high. So that's how much wattage per litre per gallon. So wattage of the light, the wattage of the light can be either higher or lower. And some lights are adjustable, like those ones I have, some of them, like the little additional ones I added and the one on my big tank, they are customizable, like programmable. So, and then the hours per day. So if you have it on for longer hours, that's going to be more light total to the plants and to the tank to feed algae. And then if you have it on for less hours per day, so if you're only having it on for 3 hours per day, that's lower light. If you have it on for 11 hours, 12 hours, 15, that's high. 3 to 6 hours, I'd say, is low. 8+ hours is high. And then there's other light sources like windows. If I had that window here open all the time, that would be a lot of light. It's actually closed, and actually that little amount of light there is probably going to cause algae on the back as well. And the same with this tank here. There's actually a window just right there, which is actually probably causing a bit of algae. So external light sources is another factor. And now, if we want to reduce algae, we got to address some of these things, like reduce the fish stocking. That's an option. Don't get fish which are too big for your aquarium. Feed less, so feed every 2 days or like every second day. Feed on day 1, next day don't feed, and feed the day 2. Don't use fertilizers with nitrate and phosphate, obviously, if you're trying to reduce algae. You can do more water changes or slightly larger amount also, but you don't really want to rely on that. And you can also get plants like I have over here. So I've actually got bamboo in the filter area that will lower nutrient levels in the aquarium. And I think there's also other plants which you could get as well. So that will be really helpful if you're struggling with the levels. And then another thing you can also do is you can reduce your lighting. So make sure there's no external light sources which are coming in, like windows. You can reduce both the hours per day and the wattage, like if it's a programmable one. If it's not programmable, just reduce the hours. Instead of having it on 8+ hours, have it on for 3 or 6. You can also go periods of blackout, like you can go for a few days without light, like 2 or 1. And you can even alternate days if you have low light plants. So hopefully that helps someone. Now these numbers are kind of arbitrary because yeah, like with nitrate and phosphate, it's usually slightly lower, but yeah, we can go into that in another video if needed. Hopefully that helps somebody.